like I felt really worthless. That was the biggest thing, that like I was never what's it called? Like we're never really amount.
Your default is love, and then fear hijacks that, and it prevents you from being able to actually enjoy.
I was obviously believing whatever the enemy was telling me at that time, saying that I was unworthy, that would never amount to anything, that I am not capable of that.
Welcome to the Rain From Within show. I'm Shane, your host. A lot of people see the physical transformation. They see the results, but they don't see the identity shift behind it. Today's guest is Kyra Serpa. Kyra, she reached a point in her life where she felt very lost, and she was pouring what little love she had left into relationships that didn't serve her. She felt stagnant, disconnected from herself, and distant from how God saw her. Her turning point wasn't just fitness, it was faith, mindset, and community. This episode is about rediscovering your worth, rebuilding your relationship with Christ, and stepping back into the version of yourself that was always there. Make sure you like the episode, you're following, you're subscribed, drop your comment of a biggest takeaway, and let's get into it. Enjoy the show. Right. Let's go. Dude, Kyra, how long have you been a part of Streignth? Do you know?
I would say like 6-7 months now. That's my estimate guess, because I started back in August. I think the second week of August.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You have so many updates because we have these like internal files, and you have a bunch because you're on top of your stuff. You be showing up, talking to Diego a lot, looks like, killing it inside of training with us. So props to you putting in the work. Yeah, September 2025. Dang, that was only like 6.5 months ago. Wow.
Yeah, that was months ago, yeah.
Dude, let's go. Well, really grateful you're coming on the pod. I have quite a few questions for you. So I want to start by talking a little bit about identity and losing yourself. So you said that you didn't know how to answer when people asked your secret, right? So why was that hard for you?
That was like really hard for me because I lost myself. I didn't know my own beauty anymore at that point of my life. I didn't know my identity in Christ, how God viewed me and how others viewed me as well. I just lost the self-love because I gave it to people or to things that never really deserved it or needed at that given time. I should have poured that love back into myself instead of giving more than I received. But yet again, I should also pour that love back into myself either way.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. So basically you were given way too much and not receiving enough back first, not putting enough energy and time into yourself. So
yes.
How long have you been in alignment with Christ, and or like, can you walk me through your faith journey a little bit? When did you start to really get close to it? Actually, don't tell me that yet because I know when it is, but growing up at least, how do you feel like, because you said you were lost and stagnant, you were feeling that. So when did you first realize you weren't fully yourself anymore?
I would say when I wasn't fully myself was back in January of 2025, the beginning of January 25. I was like very like depressed. I was very also anxious, and I felt very unworthy. And I believed in God since I was a little girl. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always loved God. God has always seen me as something as very beautiful, very precious, someone who is gentle, who's very sweet, and who's very calm, patient. And I realized that I lost that about myself. So
that's good. Dude, they say that we should always strive to be like children in terms of our mindsets because, yeah, you're very pure and you're very sincere when you're young, and you don't have all these things that start attacking your ego as you get older that you start to repress. And yeah, you forget who you are, that you literally forget that. I saw this video, I was talking about like your default is love, and then fear hijacks that, and it prevents you from being able to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor, enjoy simple conversations with friends, because your thoughts just start to deteriorate and teach you that you're something that you're not. So
yes, that is correct. I was obviously believing whatever the enemy was telling me at that time, saying that I was unworthy, that would never amount to anything, that I am not capable of love, and that no one would ever really love me. But in reality, those are lies. and I know that today. So that's
That's
a little bit of
huge.
my story. Yeah.
Yes. So the untold or the stories we tell ourselves, that's definitely important to recognize when they don't serve us anymore. And you're the author, right? We talk about it in my book, actually. Law number 16, it's rewrite the narrative. Gotta delete and rewrite the thought patterns, and then remind yourself that God loves you. And I want to talk a little bit now next about, like, describe giving the little love you had to someone, like you had left, like the little love you had left to something, right, that didn't serve you. What did that season teach you about self-worth, as much as you're willing to share?
That season of my life, it taught me that I needed to learn how to balance everything in my life, how to give myself that time for myself to know where my faults lie, to know my self worth, to know that not everything was your fault. It also takes two people to what's it called, to be at fault, but you also
Yeah.
have to learn to communicate and to grow from that. And if you're not willing to learn and communicate with that, then you're still always going to be stagnant, and you're never going to really build yourself as the person that you're meant to be.
Well said. Very well said. So was this like a relationship? And by the way, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, you're 23. Nice. Was this like a dating situation, or was it more just overall, just everybody in your life, you felt like you weren't giving yourself enough?
I would say a mixture of both. It was a mixture of a relationship and people that like and friendships that didn't align with me anymore, didn't serve both of each other anymore.
Got you. Well said. Yeah. I was just with my friend a few hours ago on this show about the idea of burning bridges. And we really want to avoid that as much as possible. But sometimes I talk about in my book, like sometimes the bridge is already on fire and you just got to get off. Like you have to cut ties and wish them the absolute best, not hold your resentment, and just continuously move forward and do what's best for you, because you got to pour into your cup before you can do the overflow into anyone else's cup. But too many people, I think, are running on, they're trying to just pour the little water they have, like you mentioned, into everybody else. But where does that leave you?
And you're too empty and dry.
Yeah. So at your lowest, Kyra, what did your internal dialogue sound like?
At my lowest, I would say my dialogue was that, like I mentioned before, that I would never amount to anything, that I'm never going to reach the goals or my truest desires that I have was to become a bilevental pediatric
Mm,
doctor, and never finishing school. I should be done by the fall, so I'm pretty excited. My
nice.
master's in psychology, so I'm so excited about that.
Hmm.
Um, that I was very like I felt really worthless. That was the biggest thing, that like I was never um what's it called? Like would never really amount to anything. That's the biggest thing. I would never really amount to anything or anyone
Mm.
around like or in my circle.
So you said that you forgot how God saw you. What does that mean to you?
So the way that how God saw me was one day I was writing my journal, and I was also listening to a sermon, and I realized that God had saw me like as Esther, like the beauty, her courage. And God also saw me as very beautiful, gentle, sweet, free, like very, very free, very outgoing, very spirited, who's not afraid of anything. Well, who's not afraid of going to reaching to her goals. How I was before back then. I was very afraid of even moving into like certain directions. And this is the biggest achievement to be here at this podcast today, because I honestly would never see myself doing this, and because I had that fear that I would never do anything like this, and God opened that door for me to allow me to be here today. So
Oh,
here
it's
we go.
amazing. Yes. And you probably know this, but like Streignth, we're not really a Christian brand. Like we're not defined as that. But so many people that represent us and come on the show, it always comes up. The conversation of God, your testimonial, and it's so powerful. It's so awesome that your vibe attracts your tribe. And I feel like, especially the last 6 months, I've personally been diving a lot deeper into my faith journey as well. And I get to meet more and more cool people like Kyra. So, dude, props to you for being on this journey and finding strength, 6-ish months ago. And I want to talk about before that happened, though, like you went to Peru. So what changed when you came back from Peru?
I seeing my aunt's fitness journey when I went there. She told me about her story and gave amazing props to her. And so I saw how she started having the same thing as the doubts that I was having and feeling like she was never about to like love anyone anymore, like no doors were opening for hers. And she was struggling a lot. But then one day she realized that enough is enough. I need to step up for myself and also for my daughter. So I saw her fitness evolution, her journey. She like was I think over about like 200 pounds now. She's like really, really like I don't know how much she weighs now, but she's super skinny now. She's
Yeah.
like actually did a championship in Peru with like bodybuilders. So she motivated me when I went to work out with her to come back here to really lock in and really get into the physique that I wanted and to also learn how to love myself even more, not only through the gym, but through doing other works in my life.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good to have a good role model like an aunt. And yes, so you realized you needed to change your mindset as well in your relationship with Christ. What was the first step there?
I would say my first step was the biggest props to this girl. Her name is Jasmine. She actually, we met at work and she told me to come to her service one day. And for the first 2 months, I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm going to try to figure something on my own. But then when she kept talking to me, it's like I was more drawn to her. And then I started getting more drawn. And as I was getting drawn, that's when I was listening to the sermon and it really like touched my heart and God like gave me some confirmations that I had been that I had like the dreams about and he gave me the confirmation so I knew that I was in the right place and I knew that I was time to get back into getting a stronger to build a stronger faith with God and relying on him and trusting in him more.
Ooh, that's really good. Props to your friend Jasmine for taking that first step and putting their hand out. And hey, you responded, you showed up, you enjoyed the sermon. That's great. I love that. It reminds me of when I first moved down to Florida and I was thinking about this one church of going to it or not. And then, yeah, I got invited by a friend I knew down there from back up in La Crosse and they're like, yo, pull up. And then that accountability really helps. And yeah, it takes that first step. It's like the first day of school sometimes, going into church for the first time. So, yeah. And then you said that God placed community in your path. Why was that what you needed most, and what did that look like?
I needed that the most because I felt like even though we are all online, I feel like you guys have motivated me and you guys encourage each other every single day to keep each other accountable, but give praise to the good works and the good efforts that people are doing.
Hmm.
And I didn't really have that here. I mean, now I'm starting to have that, but back then I didn't have like some people were a unity, like a family that was able to hold each other accountable and to be and to praise and to be happy to and to encourage people to strive more, to want more, to do bigger in their lives.
Let's go. Yes, you found us. So when you joined Strength, I guess, what were you actually searching for?
A community and also to like lose weight. I was like if I'm around people who are motivated to lose weight or who has lost
Hmm.
weight, to hear their story and then I can do it too. If they can do it, then I can do it too. So it's more of a mindset thing.
Yes, that's really good. What felt different about the Strength community compared to anything before?
I would say it was the peace and the peace of knowing that if one person was going through something, you guys were able to reach out and help them out, whatever situation that they were going through, or what they needed with the workout, any workout issues, you guys would reach out to them afterwards. And you guys, actually, you and Diego do a really great job of keeping us accountable and also checking up on us when things may be going south. And I feel like you guys just have like that little intuition. So yeah.
Yes, we get a little ping when. Can you imagine if we had like chips in y'all and we're like, oh shoot, Kyra's going through it. Gotta call her.
Yeah.
That's how it feels though. That's good. Yeah, I mean, we build relationships here and that's the best part. in how the program used to be, it used to be really focused on like people have to be paying somehow. They have to pay monthly. And then we really switched things when you first joined, like I'd say the last 6 months, we called it the Great Reset. And we really looked at everything we're doing. How do we really bring the vibe of the community, make it feel alive? The team meetings, the way we structure it, the book, Scars to Strength, the podcast now that you're talking on, the 28 Arc Challenge. I feel really confident knowing that we have a great system and we have even better people representing it like yourself, Kyra. So thank you for taking a chance on us in the first place. I want to ask you now, how did being surrounded by the right people, how has that pushed you to help rebuild your identity even more?
It helped me by keeping myself accountable every day. That means like showing up to the gym even when I don't feel like it, or when doing my homework when I don't feel like it, and reminding myself that right now we're focusing on the short-term goals, and then we're going to look at the medium and then the long-term goals. So I just remind myself every single day that to have faith, keep going, keep pushing. You can do this. You're not too far. You're not too gone. You're at the right place at the right time. So
ooh, yes, God's timing. So what has changed in you mentally since August?
I would say mentally would be my mindset. I say now I'm a lot more disciplined, more fulfilled. Even in my job too, I'm more fulfilled in my job, and I'm disciplined with my job, disciplined with my goals, my schooling, future goals that I have online, future businesses that I have lined up for myself, and so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Full evolution right there. What does loving yourself look like now?
I would say loving myself is putting myself first and knowing when to draw the line when people or things don't align with you anymore. There's no hate, there's no hatred, no shame. It's just, look, this is just our time. I still love you, respect you, and if you need me, I will be here whenever you need me. But as of right now, this is not benefiting the both of us, and I need to put myself first, which is nothing wrong with putting yourself first.
Absolutely. I'm glad you learned that lesson. Life will keep teaching you. It'll keep putting you in the same spots until you learn the lesson many times. God will do that. So what does discipline represent to you today?
Discipline today for me represents is getting up on time to go do my daily routine, keeping myself accountable when it comes to the deadlines of school or the deadlines of my job, or and making myself available to come to the meetings, and making time for the things that I need to make time for in my own personal life.
That's great. So for someone who feels lost in relationships or unsure of their worth, Kyra, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that...
It's a deep one.
It's a deep one.
Finale.
I need a minute.
Think about, what would you tell younger Kyra?
Something that I would tell younger Kyra is, if they weren't giving you the same amount of love that you have given, then it's time to step away, because think of it as a redirection. It's never a rejection. It's a redirection to something bigger and better in your life. You're not something temporary. You're something long term, not only in relationships but in friendships.
Dude, crushing it. That's so good. Where can people find you on socials?
My Instagram handle is Uno Pluto, and my TikTok is Whoa, it's Kyra.
Whoa, dude, those are some awesome names. What the heck? Yeah, Kyra, you're such a sweetheart. I'm so grateful to have you on the team. Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you like the episode, you comment your biggest takeaway, and make sure you're following and you check out Kyra on her socials. What is it? Uno Pluto?
Uno Pluto.
That is amazing. All right, guys. See you in the next one.